Okay, perfect. So, first of all, good day to all. Today we will speak about Luma video surveillance and some key considerations when we are planning and designing our video surveillance project. If there is anyone who is first time on this webinar, my name is Alexander Kostic and I'm sales engineer from ADI Control 4, and I'm in charge for all questions related to technical aspects of our products, implementation, best practices, and educational trainings like this. Regarding the questions, feel free to ask the question during the presentation. Just unmute your microphone and ask whatever it is not clear enough or you need additional explanation. Of course, at the end of the presentation, we will have time dedicated just to answer any of your questions. Okay, so just a quick overview. When we speak about ADI Control 4 and video surveillance solutions which we provide, we have two main brands. One is Luma, which is our premium brand, which has high integration with OvrC, our cloud platform, and Control 4 as well. And the second brand is more affordable, Clear Vision, which is more like a standalone solution, which also has drivers to Control 4, but not that high level of integration like Luma offers. So today I will focus mainly on the Luma, and when I speak about camera models, I will speak about Luma camera models. But generally, the main idea behind this course is to explain the main steps in terms of designing and implementing the video surveillance system. So it is not strictly related only to the Luma brand. Okay, so let's start. First of all, we have many different camera models, and it is hard to decide when we are specifying the project which camera model is proper for certain implementation. So first we need to decide what form factor would be the best. We have three main form factors supported, and also one additional, it is a specific type of the camera, fisheye, which has 360 degrees field of visibility, but it is specific implementation. If you need really a full field of visibility covered, you would use fisheye camera. In any other implementation, when we speak about the form factor, we speak about bullet camera, which are typically used outdoor. And the main advantage of the bullet camera is that they have excellent clarity at long distances and readjustable angle as well. Also, they are prone to vandalism due to high visibility, which is not that good because camera itself is quite visible from the outside, and also it is quite obvious in which direction it is recording. The second model is more for indoor use because it doesn't have protection dome. It is turret camera. But because it doesn't have protection dome, there is no glare effect, but it is used if we need shorter distances, and of course it is less vandal proof due to lack of glass housing. But generally, in any case, the main implementation of this camera would be indoor. And the third type of camera is dome camera. Dome cameras are the most popular type of the form factor, most commonly used. They can be used indoor, outdoor. They have protection domes, yeah, so they are quite vandal proof. Comparing to the bullet, they provide shorter range, but good enough for outdoor implementation. And because of the protection dome, they would require occasional cleaning of the dome in order to keep clear vision from the camera itself. And also it provides quite wide angle of view. But as I mentioned in the beginning, if we need the widest field of visibility with 360 degrees, then we go with fisheye camera. So depending on the project, depending of the requirements of the project, first we decide what camera model we use, what form factor, and after that, the second thing is to define what video resolution would be proper for the set. Of course, a lower video resolution means lower cost, higher video resolution means more expensive camera. All the three form factors, they support the full range of video resolutions from 1 megabit, that means the 2 megapixels is the entry level camera in Luma, and all the way up to 8 megapixels or full 4K camera. Just have in mind that when designing the project, it is quite important to clearly understand the customer needs. That means, do we need the camera just to have like a general overview of what's happening, to capture the motions, to trigger the alerts? Alerts, in that case, we would be good just with 2 megapixel camera. We do not need to zoom too much to see every detail, and the total cost of the video surveillance system would be much lower. But at the other hand, if the requirements of the end customer is to have clear vision, to see as much as it can, to have deep focus, to see every detail on the recording, in that case, definitely we will go with higher resolution camera, which is like 8 megapixel or 4K camera. 4 megapixel and 5 megapixel cameras are something in between. Uh, just have in mind that when we speak about the video resolution, it is tightly related also to the network design because higher video resolution requires more bandwidth. So definitely, if we use high video resolution cameras, we need to take care that we have enough bandwidth available on the switches and that we have implemented high performing switches in the project to prevent any potential bottleneck. When we speak about network, the good practice is to always keep IP cameras on its own network segment, separated from the rest of the network, in order to have the optimal network performance overall in the whole project. All Luma cameras are IP based, which means you use a network switch to connect those cameras to local area network, and also they are all PoE power supplied, which means that you do not need additional power cabling. They are all powered up through the network cables. Okay, so now we have information related to the form factor, to the video resolution we need at the project. So based on that, we can select a specific model of the camera for our project. When we unpack the camera initially, in camera we will get, of course, the short cutout for the camera installation, and also there is no hard copy of the user manual. There is a QR code which you can scan, and you will be forwarded to the website with all instruction manuals related to the camera and accessories and mounting brackets as well. With camera, you also receive the plastic protection for the outside implementations, which protect the network cable connectors from the moisture, rain, and anything what can cause that you have like a short circuit on the network connectivity from the camera itself. So this is the example of the dome camera when the dome is opened. As you can see here, the reset button for resetting camera to default is located beneath the dome, so it is quite hard to reach it. Okay, just a second. We have a question. How can an installer determine the required bandwidth for optimal network performance when using Luma cameras with different resolutions? I'll come to that later. We have a tool specifically for that. So when we speak about hardware part of the camera itself, As you can see here, this is specifically for dome camera. We have beneath the dome, we have a reset button and we have SD card slot if we would like to use a local memory storage for the video recording from camera itself. But just remember, we need to unscrew the dome in order to reach those those buttons and slot for SD card. On the right hand side, we see that plastic cover, which is going around the RJ45 connector, protecting it against the outside environment. Each camera has so-called pigtail with, depending on the model, with different connectors available. Most commonly, of course, we have network connector for the audio input, for the power supply. As I mentioned, typically not used, we use the power supply through the network cable. And in this model, for example, the green one are the Phoenix connectors for the alarm contacts. That can differ from model to model, but generally each camera has this pigtail. So in installation, we need to take care that we have enough space where to put those cabling when installing the camera in the wall on the house. So generally, we have different additional accessories which can help you in determining how to put all those cabling within the box. I mentioned that when camera is shipped, it is shipped with QR code, which links you to the website. This is the example of that website. So generally, you have listed all camera models user manuals on a single page, and also you have listed all NVR models and accessory and the short guides how it is installed. It is quite convenient user guide. You have everything explained with pictures and you have like a wizard. You go just from page to page explaining step by step how certain camera model and certain bracket is installed. So when we speak about installation, of course, when installing the camera, you would need the proper camera mounting bracket for that camera. So we have different camera mounting brackets available, depending on the form factor and depending on the way how it is installed. We have a typical mounting bracket sets. Uh, Generally, the main question is, do we need a junction box where we will put all those cabling or not? So if we have installations which are like direct to wall and we can put all the cablings inside the wall, in that case we wouldn't need junction box, for example. But if we have some installations where we put like a camera to the pole and we just need to fix it on certain pole. There is no any place where we can put all those cablings. So definitely in that case, we need some additional box to close all the cabling and from there to pull it out from the pole further away. So generally, we have all those explained well here in this mount adapter matrix, where you have listed which mounting bracket is compatible with which camera form factor and which specific camera model, and is junction box required or not. Generally, junction box is required every time when we need to think where we can put the cables, where camera is not going directly in ceiling or directly on wall, and we need to protect all those cablings coming out of the camera within one junction box itself. As you can see here, there are many different mounting brackets available, so you have quite big choice in terms of um, mounting the camera, how it is the best for the certain project. So you can mount it like a wall mount, ceiling mount, mount it on the pole, etc. Just have in mind that before you decide how you will mount the camera and before you choose the specific mounting bracket, just a double check based on this matrix, based on the model of the camera you have, what mounting options are compatible with that camera. So it's quite important just to be sure that it will match. Okay, so when we speak about positioning of the camera, there is additional tool called CCTV design, which we highly recommend. This tool is not free. It is software tool which require additional licensing. But definitely using this tool, you can get all the information at one place regarding the setup of the camera, positioning of the camera, angle, height, and also not just about the camera position and camera field of visibility. You also have all the information regarding the network part of the camera, because when we speak about the IP cameras, we have also tightly linked the design of the network part of the cabling, network switches, and how everything is interconnected. So I can show you how the that tools look like. So it is CCTV design tool, and here I have a couple of cameras positioned here. I can move the camera around. So for example, I put it on the angle of the building, and I can define the field of visibility like this. So let's say if I would like to add additional camera, let's define the manufacturer. So let's say Luma camera, and I'll take like 520, and let's say dome. So I can position camera, let's say on this corner, open it like this. And here on this part on the right hand side, I have additional option to define, let's say rounded field of visibility, let's say like this. And also when I click here, full screen related to the camera positioning, I get all detailed information related how camera is positioned in terms what height and what angle of the camera it is. So let's say it is quite high, let's say like 10 meters. And I can define the angle depending on the way how close it should detect any movement. So definitely if it should detect all the movements which are quite near the building, my angle will be higher like this. As you can see, by changing the angle, I see immediately here what is my field of visibility for this specific height. Let's say I can put it on 45 degrees. And the human height I can define here, which is like 1.8, like average height. So this way I can see at what distance this camera potentially will not catch any movement here. So it is quite useful tool in terms to exactly define what is the position of the camera in terms of the height and angle of the camera itself. So let's go back here. I have option here also to change the appearance of the camera itself. So I can change the color, let's say to be like the others. And also here, I can add additional objects like obstacles, which will more precisely define what I can see from this camera. As you can see here, I added walls. So let me see, just show you. So it is in draw option. So you have option to add the wall. I have two walls added here, this one and this one. And based on that, as you can see, my field of visibility is adjusted, so it cannot see through this building. It cannot see behind this wall. So here I can precisely see what is visible from this camera depending on the angle left or right how camera is positioned. So this way you can precisely define based on the height of the camera, what is the optimal angle up, down, and what is the optimal angle left or right, depending on the obstacles of camera itself. Also, you can add the wall or you can add the tree. Like this is like some high tree. So as you can see here, my field of visibility is missing in this part because I added a tree, for example, like an object. So you can have precise information based on the defined parameters of each camera, what you can expect to see from that camera itself, which is quite useful. So generally that covers the part of the camera mounting and positioning in terms of height and angle. But of course, each camera needs to be connected to the network as well. And this tool also provides you the possibility to define that part. So when I go to the camera, I can go to network and I can add the connection. It is LAN connection to this switch. So when I finish that, I can go then to network diagram and see here I can see all cameras connected to a single switch using the LAN connectivity. I have, for example, a second switch in the another building. I use the fiber cable to connect that, and I have second camera connected to that second switch. Also, you can put here the IP addresses of cameras so you can clear overview how cameras are interconnected on the switches with what IP addresses. And also when I go to reporting here, just find reports tools, cable list. I can see estimation of the each cable type, what is its length, and uh, is it within 100 meters or so, which is really a rough estimation based on the distances on the diagram itself. Of course, we need to take care that each of the camera is less than 100 meter far away from the switch, or more precise to say, cable length shouldn't go above 100 meter, ideally not over 80 to 90 meters, which is standard Ethernet standard, especially as we use PoE, that cable should be a little bit shorter just to have reliable connection. When we speak about the reports, this is quite useful because you can create different reports related to that. So you can create a full report with pricing and technical documentation as well. You can also add information. Would you like to have your cameras with listed with price or not? Okay. So generally, quite useful tool, and it gives you easy overview of the final touch when we speak about installation in terms not just about physical positioning of the camera, but also about cabling and the networking part as well. Okay, so I already mentioned when we speak about the positioning, the using this tool, you can estimate what is the optimal height and angle of the camera in order to see as much as you can from the certain position of the camera itself. Okay, so that is related to the physical installation, where to put the camera, how to position it, on which angle, and estimation about network connections, cable length which we need, and how the switches and IP addressing is organized. The second quite important parameter which we need to think about is what bandwidth we need for certain camera, how to calculate the bandwidth utilization based on the video resolution from the camera and encoding protocol used. We have tool for that available as well. That tool is available on the dealer portal, so you can download it. I have example here opened. So it is really straightforward to use. You define the camera itself. Let's say DOM 1. Like camera, how many cameras of this type we have? Let's say we have two cameras, two DOM cameras, which are IP cameras. And also we define the resolution. Let's say we have two uh, 5 megapixel cameras, frame rate like standard 25, encoding let's say H.265, recommended bit rate is 4600, and we just add them. So we have two cameras with 5 megapixels and these parameters added. And here we get the estimated bandwidth required for those cameras to be fully operational without any congestion potentially imposed. If we would like to add additional camera, let's say we can say like bullet one one bullet camera, the let's say 8 megapixel camera in this case, the same encoding, and let's add it. So now we have two DOM 5 megapixel, one bullet 8 megapixel camera, and this is our estimated required total bandwidth. So this bandwidth is not important just in terms that we know how to design our switches and what bandwidth utilization to expect on the network side. It is quite important in terms to know will our NVR be able to properly follow all the recording for the camera and to capture everything sent from the camera itself. That part of communication NVR camera. Generally, added to that, it is important parameter from NVR, the bandwidth, input and output bandwidth from the NVR. And we recently launched the next generation of the NVRs, which doubled that bandwidth supported from the cameras. So, for example, 220 NVR is supporting bandwidth up to 80 megabits per second, while 221 next generation NVR we recently launched has doubled that amount, which that means it can support up to 160 megabits per second. So based on this calculator, you can estimate will NVR is able to support certain number of camera with certain video resolution configured on camera itself. So generally, when you are designing the system, it's important to know capacity of the NVR and total estimated bandwidth from cameras connected to that NVR itself. So it is bandwidth calculator, and this tool is available from our portal. Okay, so when we know the bandwidth, we know position. Now we need to consider what is required local memory storage for the cameras we have installed. That means when that local memory storage will be full and after how much time it will start to rewrite itself. This AGD calculation, it is quite common tool and available online. So you can go, for example, on Western Digital site and find this AGD calculator tool. But also this AGD calculation is available within the software tool I showed you, CCTV design. So if we go there, and if we go, I think it is in tools, AGD calculator, you can see here based on the cameras we added and based on the codec used for recording, you can see estimation how fast based on the based on the local memory storage we have, how fast that memory storage will be full. So for those four cameras, which are recording every day, full day, 24 hours per day, with like two cameras on 4 megapixels, two cameras on 5 megapixels. We will have half terabytes full in 2 days, 1 terabyte in 4 days. And if we would like I don't know, 30 days of recording stored at any moment, we would need in this case to use minimum 8 terabytes of local memory storage. So this is quite important parameter because it defines how many hard drive bays or hard disk drives within the NVR we would need. Based on that, how long history of recording needs to be available to the customer. So if it is, for example, if end customer is good to have only up to 10 days of continuous recording from his camera system. In that case, 12 days would be good enough. After 12 days, with 3 terabytes in local memory storage, your local memory storage will be overwritten. So generally, beside the bandwidth, the second parameter which we need to take into consideration is local memory storage calculated based on the video resolutions of the camera imposed and the protocol used. That means codec used for the recording of the streaming. Of course, quite important is how many hours per day cameras are recording. In this case, I took like 24 hours, like full day recording. But if you have cameras recording maybe just for outside of the working hours, which is like 16 hours, as you can see, you have for the same memory storage, you can have recording for more days because you have less recording per day. So generally, based on these parameters, you can estimate what is your local memory storage required within the NVR. Okay, so when we know the bandwidth and the local memory storage for the cameras configured, based on that, we can specify what NVR we will use on our project. Let's go back now quickly to the network design. I mentioned through the CCTV design that all the cameras as IP cameras are connected through the network cabling to the switch, and we need to take care about the length of those cabling and of course about the bandwidth available. But that is just covering the data side of the communication between the camera and the switch. But cameras are also in like 99% of the cases powered up through the switch itself using the PoE. So we need to take care that also we have enough PoE budget on the switch when we do the design for the video surveillance. First of all, the most important thing is that total power budget of the switch is higher than the total power consumption of the connected cameras. And it is always good to leave like 10 to 15, at least let's say 15% free space there, not to fully utilize specified power budget from the switch itself, just to be sure that at any moment we have enough power budget for PoE ports. Furthermore, when we speak about selection of the cabling, we can say that today standard for the network cabling is Cat6, so just be sure that you are using Cat6 for future proofing. And I already mentioned this when we speak about cable length, just to be sure that we have a reliable distribution of the power through the network cable. Try to keep your cables below 80 meters long between the switch and camera itself. When we speak about surge protection is related to the type of cabling used in terms to have different parts of the network isolated from that same voltage level. So, for example, in my CCTV design, I have two buildings, and those two buildings were connected through the fiber optical link. That fiber optical link use like a perfect isolation. If there is any lighting hitting the one building, the voltage peak will not go through that fiber optic, and it will save the other building against the surge protect against the high voltage surge. So generally, when we are speaking about the network design, always separate the network segments like two buildings or maybe two floors within the same buildings with fiber optical connections to localize any potential surge and to be more protected from that part that high voltage is not spreading across fiber optical links. So that is regarding the POE planning. Just one note: when we speak about the POE planning, generally video cameras are not that high consumers. They almost all they are within standard POE power supply, which means up to 15 watts. There are a few exceptions. They are related to the PTZ cameras. PTZ cameras, as they introduce like additional motion and they need additional power supply in order to move the camera itself, they need PoE plus power supply. That means up to 30 watts per single port. So generally, when you are designing the power budget, always be sure that you check the camera specification. What is the maximum power consumption of the camera itself? Is it PoE or PoE plus? And based on that, calculate is it within the total power budget of the switch selected. Okay, furthermore, when we speak about NVRs, I already mentioned that we have like a standard NVR series, like ending with 0, 120, 220, 420, and we have new generation NVRs ending with 1, 221, which has the doubled the bandwidth and that way able to support more camera with high video resolution. That is related to the bandwidth estimation. When we speak about network organization, I mentioned in the beginning briefly that video surveillance, in order to have reliable network connectivity and not to significantly affect the network performance, it needs to be isolated to its own network segment, like to have VLAN just for the CCTV system. There is also one alternative to that. As you can see here on the bottom picture, we have built-in switch within each NVR. And also that switch is not providing just the data communication, it is providing also PoE communication. So we can connect cameras and power up cameras directly from NVR itself. In this example, we have a 4-channel NVR. That means we can connect up to 4 PoE cameras to single NVR. In that case, this is the simplest setup because we do not think about any kind of network isolation configured on the switch level, as cameras connected to the NVR are isolated by the NVR itself from the rest of the network, as NVR is acting like a firewall for those cameras. So that means when we connect the camera to NVR itself, they are getting IP addresses from completely different range from the main network. NVR is assigning IP addresses, and those IP addresses are not visible from the main network. So that way, they are completely isolated and separated from main network, so they are not flooding the main network to multicast and broadcast traffic. So that is the easiest way to set it up and to be sure that video surveillance system is not affecting our main network and the other way around. Uh, but that doesn't mean that those cameras are completely cut off to be managed from the main network, because NVR has like a built-in port forwarding rules, how you can still access those cameras, just you are not accessing those cameras directly through the IP address assigned to camera itself. You are accessing all those cameras over same IP address, which is IP address of NVR, and you just differentiate between different cameras by different port numbers. So you define the IP address of NVR, the port number, which is linked to one of the ports on the switch called like a channel 1, 2, 3, or 4. They will have different ports. And when you define the port, then NVR knows exactly where to forward your connection to which camera you are connecting directly in that case. So it is like a port forwarding through the firewall when you connect cameras to NVR. Of course, you do not need to use NVR ports. You can connect camera always directly to the network switch. And even you can combine. You can combine some cameras to NVR, some cameras to the network switch. It's all up to you. Just have in mind that if you use a network switch for the camera connection, just have in mind that it is recommendable that cameras are in its own VLAN. If cameras are connected directly to the network switch, they are getting IP addresses from the router, which means when we try to access the camera directly, we are opening direct IP address assigned on camera itself. So if we, for example, use the VLAN dedicated for the CCTV, we can enable, let's say we use a RACNIS router, we can enable inter-VLAN routing. By default, inter-VLAN routing will enable unicast communication, which means I'm able to access IP address of my camera from different VLAN, but it is blocking multicast traffic. So that means that video surveillance is not flooding my main network with unnecessary traffic. So that way it keeps my network performance on a high level in both segments, main and video surveillance part as well. So enabling inter-VLAN routing is not enabling multicast traffic to go across VLANs at the same time. So inter-VLAN just enables you possibility to access camera directly over the IP if you are not in the same VLAN. Okay, so having these two options, you can decide what works best for you. Would you like to connect camera on the switch using the specific VLAN, or simply not to think about VLANs and network configuration, and simply just connect cameras directly to the NVR? Just have in mind that when we speak about capacity of the NVR, if this is like a 4-channel NVR managing the 4 cameras, the total number of cameras which NVR can manage is always 4, regardless how you connect the camera. So if I manage 3 cameras from network switch by NVR, I can manage only 1 camera directly from NVR itself. One way or the other, you always have limitation to 4 channels. It's same for the 8 channel, 16 channel, 32 channel NVR. So the limitation is always the same. Just a few words about our biggest NVR, 820 NVR. This NVR is able to support up to 32 cameras, but it is a little bit specific because it has only 16 ports available on the NVR itself. That means one way or the another, if you use more than 16 cameras, you have to use some of the cameras connected to the network switch. So you can combine 16 cameras directly on the NVR and 16 cameras from the switch itself. Also, this NVR it has built-in two HDMI outputs and also alarm connections as well. Any question maybe? Okay. Okay, so that is all related to the hardware installation, network design, bandwidth optimization, optimization of the estimation of the local memory storage, communication between the NVR and the cameras. Let's speak a little bit now about the uh, maintenance and configuration of the cameras. So generally, when we speak about Luma, I mentioned in the beginning that the whole philosophy behind the Luma series is the high integration in OvrC and Control 4. That means that when you do the hardware installation, when you connect the cameras and when they appear online on the network, and if you have internet connectivity on the site, you do not need to be on site anymore at all in order to continue with the setup. Everything else you can do through the OvrC over remote connection, and a lot of options are directly available in OvrC itself, which are related to define the intrusion area for motion detection, line crossing areas, to define the picture, the image parameters. Also, you can define everything related to the IP addressing and general parameters of the camera itself. Just have in mind that we have pulled out most commonly used features from the web interface of the camera on the OvrC, but you have more features available directly on camera still. So if there is any feature not available in OvrC, you can always through the OvrC log in remotely to web interface of camera itself and check it and set it up that way. So even if you don't have that parameter available in OvrC directly, you have like a VPN like access to access your web interface of camera remotely. When we speak about initial setup, it is quite straightforward. So generally, I have here, let's say, scenario with NVR and cameras on one project. So when I would like to initially configure all the cameras, only what I need to do is to manage those cameras by NVR in the OvrC. By default, all Luma cameras are shipped without defined password, which means with initial login to the camera, you need to set up the password before you access the camera itself. If you have project with a lot of cameras, that means that you need to go to each individual camera, log in, set the password, and go to the next and next. Using the OvrC and NVR management, you do all of this at once. So only what you need to do is to select your NVR
Oh,
edit,
sei pronto? Ciao Enrico, dimmi tutto.
is to select your NVR added to OvrC. In this case, it is 120. I have here 4-channel 120. NVR will automatically detect all the camera on the site, whether are they connected to NVR directly or on the same network where NVR is located through the network switch. By default, cameras will be listed as unassigned cameras. You just need to select them, click assign, and they will pop up in the list above with all necessary credentials configured at once. So especially this is useful if you have a bigger project with 10-20 cameras. You do not need to configure each camera individually. It really spares time to do everything with one go. The credentials which are pushed to the cameras are the same like credentials on NVR, and they are listed here in NVR credentials. So you have three types of credentials. You have support admin for the web access. You have system connect. used for the integration with Control 4. That is the username and password used in the Control 4 driver. And you also have on with credentials pushed, which are the same like credentials for integration. You can check the password here. So they are identical. So all of that is done automatically just by managing cameras by NVR. Okay, so when we speak about privacy protection and security, just to remind that we have built-in procedure, so-called takeover procedure for the video surveillance system, uh, which is after that handled exclusively by the end customer. So when you finish setting up your video surveillance, you are inviting the end customer to take over the project. End customer receives an email to download Luma View application. With initial login to Luma View application, end customer defines the password for his customer access, and from that moment, you don't have access to video surveillance anymore. That means you cannot access or view any cameras or NVR from OvrC. It is blocked. In case that you need access again, if something is not working, you need to do some troubleshooting, or end customer would like to change some settings, you can always through the OvrC send access request to the end customer receives an email, and then customer can grant access for like 24 hours or 48 hours, which is time you have available to finish all the settings on the cameras again, and after that you lose access once again. So that way we protect privacy and security of the end customer, and they are quite sure that installer, after finishing with the setup of the camera, is not having access anymore to his property. Uh, there is also an option if end customer prefers to provide permanent access to the installer, so installer at any time has access to video surveillance of his customer, and customer can do that and provide permanent access to the installer without that expiration time, after which installer will lose visibility of the video surveillance system. Okay, so regarding the NVR, the same way how we pulled out most commonly used features on OvrC from cameras, we did the same for the NVR as well. So you have certain feature set available directly in the OvrC, but also if you need some more detailed setup, some more advanced features, you can always log into the web interface of NVR itself. On this slide, we can see how web interface of the NVR looks like. And on NVR, for example, you have some advanced analytics. In this case, it is counting the number of vehicle motions detected in certain hour on specific day. That kind of analytics you don't have directly accessible through OvrC, so you would have to access web interface for that. Also, a few words just about the PTZ cameras. PTZ cameras are quite specific because they provide a completely new range of options comparing to the standard cameras related to the camera movement. We have two models, smaller with 4 optical zoom and bigger one with 25 optical zoom. And also they are fully integrated within OvrC, and in OvrC you have all options related to the camera management in terms of movement. And there is also quite useful feature called smart tracking, where camera, when enabled, is able to track the object which is moving until it gets out from the field of visibility. Regarding the commercial solutions, generally beside our main target is residential, we provide some solutions for the commercial projects. First of all, those are big NVRs with 16 and 32 channels. After that, we have software support for that. We have our own video management system software providing support for up to 250 cameras where you can combine on a single view cameras from different sites. And also additional upgrade to your video surveillance system can be Luma Bridge and with Luma Insight licenses, which provide deeper integration of the video surveillance to the Control 4. So with Luma Bridge, you can, for example, in the Control 4 application, directly see history of events with belonging recording, so you can see what happened at certain moment with short video clip. When we speak about the integration, integration to Control 4 is straightforward. You have only one driver available for all camera models, and when you identify the driver using the username and password and the IP address, the driver automatically identifies what camera model is in question and unlocks features which are related to that camera. What is all important when we speak about the integration is how Control 4 communicate with camera itself. If the camera is connected directly to the network switch, we will select connection method switch. In that case, the IP address which Control 4 uses to speak with the camera is IP address of camera itself. If we select that camera is connected to the NVR as a connection method, in that case, IP address is IP address of the NVR and the port number is related to the channel of the NVR where camera is connected. So that is the main difference. And the only thing what you need to specify in the driver itself, is it connected through the network switch or is it connected to the NVR, because it is affecting the way how Control 4 sees the camera, how Control 4 reaches the information from the camera itself. Okay, so that is short overview related to the implementation of Luma video surveillance. I hope this looks quite simple because we tried to develop this solution to be as easy to use as possible and to be like a straightforward, just following the predefined steps and selecting specific parameters based on your specific implementation through that process. Any question?
Alex,
Yes,
I have two questions.
of course.
So first question was to use the AI functionality about over Control 4, we need to use the Luma Bridge, right?
So Luma Bridge unlocks the history of events.
Mm-hmm.
So, and history of events includes filtering based on the AI. So you
Mm-hmm.
can say yes, that it is unlocking, but AI functionalities are on cameras with or without Luma Bridge, to say like
Okay.
that. But within the Control 4 history of events, with filtering based on the type of event, is unlocked with Luma Bridge, and all those features are generally by default supported through the Luma View app,
Mm-hmm.
which is dedicated user app for the video surveillance. But the whole point is to use one application to control everything. So with Luma Bridge, you have that part built in within the Control 4 application.
Even
Okay,
the
but
animal detection and the
that's specific.
yes.
Just one note regarding the what is available in C4 app and what is not. If we speak about continuous recording, that means going back and forth in history of recording, it is only available in LumaView app.
Mm-hmm.
With Luma Bridge, within the Control 4 app, you have history of events, which means you see only the short video recordings for the detected events. You don't have history recording. So that is always only on the LumaView app.
Okay.
When we speak about the type of the motion, which you can distinguish using the AI, we differentiate two types there. The first natively supported on the camera itself. Those are three types of motion: vehicle motion, human motion, and non-motor vehicle motion. So that means with or without Luma Bridge, you have that supported on camera, and you have that on Luma View app. With Luma View Bridge, beside you have deeper integration with Control 4, Luma Bridge also unlocks additional motion detection types on the camera because the processing of motion is shifted to the cloud, and you have additional categories that includes animal detection and package drop and package removal detection.
Mm-hmm.
So package drop, package removal, and animal are available only with Luma Bridge and Insight license.
So, and what happening now? So maybe I spoke to Stefan a few weeks about it.
Mhm,
What happening now if we have not a Control 4 system? So the partner will buy the Luma cameras with the
mhm,
Luma NVR,
mhm.
but only the Luma things. Then
Mhm.
he cannot use the AI functionality about the animal and human
Well,
thing.
AI is related to the cloud services.
Okay.
So generally, it unlocks those features for the Luma specific options in the cloud.
Mm-hmm.
So with Luma Bridge, generally, uh, first of all, I didn't mention that, but if you have extend cameras, it
Mm-hmm.
will add AI functionality to that because X10 cameras they don't have any built-in AI functionality. Secondly, on X20 cameras they will add additional like animal and package drop and package removal. And third thing is that even if you don't have local memory storage, you will have a history of events, but remember just events
Mm-hmm.
stored for 1 week.
Mm-hmm.
1 week long, so you can go 1 week of reviewing your events detected through the Luma Bridge. So it has sense, even if you don't have Control 4, to have Luma Bridge because it's not related just to deep integration with Control 4. It is also unlocking on the Luma itself some additional features.
So you need the Luma Bridge as well if you have other manufacturers in there, or
Uh,
like
so
when we say, okay,
Luma Bridge is not supporting other manufacturers.
okay,
Luma Bridge
only
is
Luma Bridge is only for Control 4. Okay.
For Luma
For Luma, yeah,
cameras.
yeah, 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 sure. No, the thing is that one case we have one of our partners. He bought some Luma, or he would like to bought some Luma cameras,
Mhm,
but he has a Basalt system there. So and he's now asking, okay, I know how to integrate the cameras with the NVR into the Basalt systems, but
mhm.
can I use the AI functionality in the same way as I do it with the bridge in Control 4? So that was his question.
Well, you don't have Control 4 to use it from there, but you
No.
have Luma View app in that
Yeah.
case.
In the Luma View
So
app, he can.
yes, so generally Luma Bridge will have all the features unlocked because the image processing is done in the cloud.
Mm,
And everything what you have available for Control 4 side, you have on Luma View side as well. So generally, with Luma Bridge, you have option to manage up to 4 cameras,
hmm.
but you are not limited in how many Luma Bridge devices you can have on one side. So you can
Yeah,
have 2 Luma Bridges if you have 8 cameras, for
yeah,
example.
sure.
And also, the Luma Bridge is doesn't have like a physical ports to connect cameras directly to it.
Mm,
It is just managing them through the network.
mm,
It doesn't have ports like NVR. So it automatically discovers the cameras and in OvrC the same way how with any VR, you just click manage and they pop up as managed cameras by the Luma Bridge. And from that moment, you have all the features supported by the Luma Bridge unlocked on those cameras.
okay.
Which cameras are supported? So we have support only Luma cameras, but not just X20, X10 as well. So whatever Luma camera you have, except the small number of models which are like 31, 51, those small cameras, they are not supported. So all X10, X20 cameras are supported, plus voice doorbell, chime, and DS2, which
Mm,
are treated as cameras in that
sure.
case, and they are automatically discovered like you connected Luma camera
Mm,
in your project.
okay. And second short question in the first slide of the camera explanation, what you give us about turret, bullet, and dome.
Form factors. Mhm.
You mentioned that the turret cameras are indoor cameras.
Mostly
Um,
uses indoor because they don't have protection dome. Yeah.
yeah, but from the other side, between the protection dome you can use it as an outdoor camera. Well, why I'm asking is if you go to the C4 portal and you click on the different kind of cameras and different type of cameras, the reading is with the turret cameras outdoor, not indoor.
Because of the IP rating.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, IP rating is the same, but I just mentioned the whole idea behind that slide is just to know what form factor you use for what installation. So the mostly if we have indoor cameras, we mostly use turret for those. Generally, bullet we would rarely use indoor, so because of its size and everything. But you can also use turret outside. Just it's not that common. Dome is more commonly used outside.
Sure. Okay. Thanks. That's on my side.
Any additional question, maybe? We have something in the chat. Is the customer's app Luma View available on Apple TV? Can a customer live view cameras on TV? No, they are just on the mobile app, Luma View application. So you have like iOS and Android, but they are not available on Apple TV. You're welcome. Any further question?
If no other questions, I would like to tell you thank you so much, Alexander, because the training was